Oh my God.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we will be talking about body consciousness, right? Not the way you're thinking. Body consciousness, as in the body is highly intelligent, more intelligent than your intellect at times and your logic at times, okay? And more important than what reality is being projected to you. So I'm giving you this message because we in the war of consciousness. We are in a war for our heads, what we believe, what we think, what's reality to us. That's the battleground, okay, on our consciousness, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a little story on a recent experience that I had. So basically, through this spiritual warfare, they've been attacking my finances, and I wanted to get ahead of the situation. So I created a situation for me to generate income, right? So I said, well, what can I do from right where I'm sitting, right? I said, well, the oldest profession in the world, prostitution. A bitch might have to get out there and go do some things, okay? I didn't know whether I was going to do something on OnlyFans, whether I was going to do something like work in a club or what. But in my soul and in my spirit, I knew I couldn't do anything like that. Now, that's something I've done in the past as a younger girl. You know what I mean? I've been propositioned, and I've taken propositions before, right? So it's not nothing that's not new to me. So it's always something lingering in the back of my mind because I know it's fast money or whatever, but I haven't done that in over like maybe let me see, maybe well, my daughter's 13, maybe 9 years or something like that. I haven't done any of that kind of activity, but it's always in the back of my head when finances get tight, like, oh well, you can go do that, but my soul couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I just have to thug out situations because I I'm that way. I can't do things if it's not aligned with my soul. Now, how did I end up having this thought and getting there is another thing. So basically, I started watching this YouTube channel with a guy who deals with African spirituality. So he's knowledgeable on some things that I was interested in. So I started watching his channel, but I noticed in his videos, he always mentioning sex, and he's like bisexual. So it was a spirit that had been trying to target me for a while now. Because like I said, I be having these thoughts that come to me about doing stuff. I've even had like one day random two cats just pull up in front of me and start having sex. Then that same night I go and have a dream and I wake up. No, I didn't even have a dream. I just wake up and I'm feeling extra sexual. And it's like I done had sex with somebody, right? So they've been trying to attack me and get me to go out there and defile myself and go have sex. But they have been unsuccessful at doing it at that time. So now I'm watching this guy who I respect, he's well respected, but this sexual energy is coming through. And he mentions, in one of his videos, he's like, sometimes you got to do the things that you don't want to do, and me being desperate and wanting to have more money, I'm like, well, shit, he right, but that was an old mindset, and I knew better, but I went out there and I said, I'm going to give it a try. At least I'm going to try it, because in my mind, in the past, it was, okay, you can't do this because you can't just have sex with anyone anymore because you're a spiritual being. You're evolved. It's going to hurt you if you sleep with someone of lower frequency. You know what I mean? And you don't want to just put yourself out there. And I got all type of blockages when it comes to having sex anyway, because I don't believe in, wearing protection and things like that. I don't believe in birth control. Those are things that I just don't do for obvious reasons because they're not compatible with my body. So there's always these blockages to me going out actually doing these things, which are good things because they hindered me for a long time. But I was desperate enough, and I said, I'm gonna go out there. I said, maybe there's really no harm into it. Maybe it's just my mind. Maybe I just need to go out there and go do something. Now, I hadn't had sex now in about 3 to 4 years. Okay, so I was ready to, because then it was like this other aspect that was playing on me was like, well, maybe my last ninja, he done put a spell on me so that I can't be with no man. Cause like, what the hell is going on? I need to just go out here and break this spell. Let me just go sleep with someone. And I had been having these thoughts for years, but I never did it. But it's been an active thought playing in the background. Just do it so that you can break this spell that's on you, for you to be, forever bound to him. Like, you need to go break this, go have sex with someone purposely. Right? So it was perfect opportunity for this to manifest, these thoughts to manifest, right? So I invoked the goddess Oshun for increased magnetism, beauty, and to bring me some clients, right? So basically, one day I was out at the grocery store, and I ran into these two foreigners who are from Haiti. And one had just got here 3 months ago. He was with his cousin who's been here longer, and I guess he wanted to find a woman for him or whatever. So he seemed very nice, you know what I mean, initially. Like he was very smiley and very happy to see me and stuff like that. And that was like very, inviting and very friendly, you know what I mean? And I like that. I like a man who smiles, right? That means something to me, especially since all the ones I ever dated, they were not smilers, okay? So I associated smiling with high vibrational, just like myself, someone that's of good spirit, you know what I mean? Because all them niggas that I done dealt with that have them frowns, and they be rough, you know what I mean? And, so it was very pleasant to see a smiling man. And he had a beautiful smile at that. Very tall, very handsome, and very attractive. And when I tell you, woo, 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 I mean, attractive voice, yes, very bad, okay? But this was the deception now. This was the deception, okay? So basically I met him, and it was like, in my mind, when I met him, I'm on, making some money. So we never officially said, oh, we're going to have this relationship based off of money, and I'm paying you for sex. It wasn't that. It was, he wanted to see me, and I was like, oh, I have to work and stuff like that. And then he was like, well, I'll pay you to come see me and stuff, So that's how the money came into play. And we didn't naturally work out how much I was going to be getting the initial time I came. Spirit had worked it out, and it had wound up coming up to about $350 is what he gave me for the first time that I visited him, right? So I was like, okay, that's a nice, agreement. I can go see him for that. Now, one thing like that I always hated, like, or one thing that was always in my mind, like, I never really dealt with black men whenever, like, I was younger and I was propositioned, because, niggas ain't trying to pay for no sex, that's number one, most of them anyway. So I've always dealt with foreigners when it come to sex. I've dealt with Hindu, or maybe Indian, Pakistani, and, men from the Spanish, South America, that's mainly who I dealt with living in New York. And they pretty much have very small penises, and it'd be like 1 second and they come, and then you get your $200 and it'd be done, and it's worth my time. But I always knew I never really wanted to do anything with a black man, because, number one, they want the most for the least, right? And they're going to be much bigger than those other races. So I kind of didn't know what to expect. So I was very awkward, very weird, and I just showed up and I said, well, bitch, look, just lay down. I said, you got a pussy, okay? And you ain't got to get in here and go doing all these tricks and stuff that you used to do when you was younger, because, like, I don't do those things no more. I'm past it, and I hadn't had sex in like 3 to 4 years. So I said, bitch, just lay your ass down. That's all you're going to do. Open your legs and lay down, okay? And let them have fun. That's it, right? So basically, that's what happened, right? But I had gotten signs ahead of time, like I said, Spirit had orchestrated kind of how much money I was going to be receiving. So I remember the first time I went to go see him, it was like he was trying to rush me to come see him so fast. So I had went to see him, but I wasn't quite ready, and I knew that. But I knew that probably if I went, he was going to be like extra thirsty, and that would, make him, increase it would make him desire me more, and obviously give me more money. So I had went and played a little game with him, right? And went over there with some little outfit on and stuff like that. And when I went, though, now, like I said, they're foreigners, so he don't speak no English. So it's hard, very little English, y'all. Oh my God, that was rough. So now I get to his house, and it's like a house with all men in it, right? And it's one there that speak English, and I'm like, so what does he expect? Like, what does he want from me? I was like, is he trying to, like, he wants sex right now? Like, because in the beginning, like I said, I was confused on what had just took place. You know what I mean? I didn't know whether this was a potential new boyfriend of mine, or if this was someone I was gonna try this new job with. So when I went, I was surrounded by a whole bunch of men inside of the house, and I felt drained. It was like I was looking at everybody, because I'm trying to understand them speaking in French, and then I'm trying to understand the one in English. So my head going like this as they all in front of me talking to me. And I remember through that experience, I felt very drained. Now, you got to understand, I'm a person who don't really have much human interaction on a daily basis. You understand? Not in depth human interactions anyway. It's more, hello, how you doing, bye, and that's it, when I'm working or something. But other than that, I live a very solitude life. So that I was like, okay, maybe it's because this was just too much interaction for me, in a long time. But I felt drained, okay? But I was able to pretty much recover. So then it was like he was still rushing me, and he wanted me to come the next day. And I quite wasn't ready, because in my mind, I'm thinking I got to get prepared. Like I said, I've been in solitude, so I be chilling. I don't be doing the most. Like, I might look, I do a little something, but I don't be doing the most. And in my mind, I'm thinking I got to look really good, to keep him as a client. So I need to get my nails done, my feet done. I need to shave. Like, I don't shave or do any of those things. I just keep it simple because I'm by myself, and so what? You know what I mean? So I felt the need to do extra work because, I just felt I needed to do extra work as a woman, So I did it, and I just felt rushed, So I had that rush energy, and I'm not someone who rushes. Like, I take my time with everything. I'm very slow. I'm like a turtle, but the turtle outlasts everyone, and I also get the job done, but I'm a slow mover for the most part. So that was an unalignment right there. So I wind up going to see him, and we wind up doing the do, and like right before we went, the spiritual warfare started to come down, okay? And I had to navigate it. Now, he had done gave me money, and I knew that I had to show up. So the spiritual warfare was kicking in, and I was feeling a little down before I went to see him. I wasn't feeling right, but I said, I'm gonna go because he done paid me. Let me just go and get this over with, So I went, and like I said, it was the language barrier, which already like just feels like it brings down your vibration trying to communicate, and you ain't on the same wavelength. So that was a little bit of a barrier, because I couldn't say, hey, well, I'm only staying here for 30 minutes and then I gotta go. It was just much. Now, he had this cologne on, right? He smelled amazing, okay? And he had this cologne on, and this cologne, I believe, is a spirit, okay? It's a spirit in that cologne. Obviously, colognes are spirits, right? They're just like alcohol. They're made of liquid. They have energy and frequency. And this cologne smells amazing. And this cologne stayed on me. It stayed on me for days. You hear me? Days. Because I wasn't able immediately to go and take a shower immediately. So the cologne stayed on me, okay? So basically we did the do, and he was very very good. I mean, I had no problems with him. He was very handsome and very loving and very generous. So there was no issue. But when I left him, I felt drained, right? I felt drained. And I said, well, maybe it's because I didn't. Now, hold on, y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm no nasty bitch. Now, immediately afterwards, because now y'all know I'm living in my car. So that day, the reason why I was unable to get a shower was because it was Labor Day, and the gym closed early that day at 12. That was another reason why I was exhausted before I went to see him, because I was trying to get all of this done before 12 a.m., get myself together to go see him, right? So I had to rush and shower, and I don't rush. I go in the shower. They call me a mermaid. I'm in there for hours, I just, whatever. That's me. So I was unable to shower that night. So that cologne was on me, but I did do a wash up, girls. Okay. I carried my water, got my jugs of water, I got my washcloths, I got my wipes, I got my soap, I got everything I need to keep it clean down there. Okay. So I did that immediately after seeing him. I made sure I cleansed myself. So I still had the same clothes on though. So the smell was on me, and it felt good to have that smell on me, because that smell was amazing. And he was just so handsome. A beautiful smile, tall. He just fine, y'all. So it was like, oh, he was with me, but the energy that was left on me was a draining one, and I smelled that spirit on me. And that next day, now I was unable to get in the shower early in the morning that day. So this smell lingered on me until night, so I was able to get in the shower. And it was like I was tired that day. I was weighed down. It was a heaviness on me. Okay. I just felt very heavy and tired. And I noticed it, and I said, okay. I was like, maybe it's just from me rushing. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh, wait a damn minute. Okay. So now I'm giving y'all more information. Y'all gonna say it's TMI, but y'all need to know this, okay? Because I don't want y'all making the same mistakes that I'm out here making or that I've ever made, okay? So another thing, okay? He appeared to be very clean. You know what I mean? He was just very good, very clean, smelled good, and just very clean. So, and he had a very, very nice genitals, okay? Very good looking genitals, you know? So, I didn't go too crazy, you know, because like I said, like I just met him, obviously, and for me to really go crazy with someone, it's like I have a connection with you, and there was really no connection there, other than like physical attraction. And for me, I'm more of a mental person, you know what I mean, sexually. So I have to be really digging you. You've done stuff for me, and you know I got to be in love with you. And that wasn't the case in this situation. I wasn't in love with him. Just thought he was good looking. And for me, that's not enough for my waters to really flow. You know what I mean? Or for me to get real super crazy with you. You know what I mean? So I was, like I said, awkward as fuck because I ain't had sex in a long time. So I was like, well, you know, his stuff is clean. Let me give him a little oral, okay? So I decided to do it, but I didn't do nothing crazy, but I did a little something. Just, I mean, very little, right? And like I said, I inspected him. Physically, I knew he didn't have any STDs or anything like that, okay? Now, those sexually transmitted diseases. Now, them sexually transmitted demons is something else, okay? So I did that, and like I told you, I felt very heavy the following day. The cologne was staying on me, and then my throat. I got a sore throat, okay? And I know it came from sucking his penis, okay? Now, I done sucked some dicks in my life, y'all, okay? And I'm talking about with some nasty niggas. I'm talking about with some niggas that be out there in them streets, them niggas that be whoring around, okay? I done sucked some, and never in all the time that I've sucked dick have I ever gotten a sore throat. Ever. Okay? So I'm picking up on this sore throat. I'm like, okay. I'm feeling heavy, not feeling good. Okay. So now it take about a whole week now for me to shake this sore throat that turned into a cough. I had to, you know, spit up mucus and stuff like that. So it turned into like some kind of cold. So I'm like, maybe somebody at his house was sick or something. I don't know. You know? But upon further investigation, because I like to investigate stuff, right? So he didn't tell me nobody was sick at his house. I had met pretty much everybody at the house. Nobody seemed sick, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So we talking, and he trying to get me to come back over there, but I know I can't come back because, hold up, I like you, you look good, you fine as fuck, but something not right here. My body is saying something's not right. So we going back and forth. He trying to get me to come over there like every day. You know what I mean? And I'm just giving him like, nah, I can't come. So I think I might have went one more time afterwards. Yeah, I went like maybe after that week I got sick, because I am a researcher and investigator, and I need to know what's going on. So I put myself out there again, put myself in danger, right? Because I'm a scientist. Now I feel like it's a healthy risk. When I take risks, I make sure they're calculated. I just don't go out there jumping out the window. I made a calculated risk because I needed to know, what was this I was feeling? Was this spiritual? Was this a spiritual attack that I was feeling on my body that came from the demonic kingdom because they don't want me to be in love, or they don't want me to be with nobody else? Was this coming from my ex-lovers who monitor me and watch me and knew I had sex with someone and they're inflicting pain on my body? Because the demonic kingdom, they can inflict pain on you as well. So I wanted to know where this was coming from. So we set up another date to finally see each other again. And of course, the demonic kingdom, they go crazy. I mean, real crazy. Okay. What I realized is their goal is to lower my defenses before I go over to see him. Okay. They want to lower my frequency. So me and my daughter wound up getting in an argument over some perfume. I wanted to get some great perfume because I had some perfume on. I had some Jean Paul Gaultier on, but his perfume overpowered mine, and I was like, oh no, we can't have that. So my daughter got some other perfume, and I was like, I need to wear that. Okay. So she decides she don't want to give me her perfume. So we start arguing, and and from our argument, okay, somehow I wound up with a crack in my windshield. And it wasn't that she kicked it or that we fought in anything. It was the frequency, and how I knew that we were being attacked was because prior to me going to see him, I was in the store. I was getting something before I went to go see him, and I smelled this very foul smell. So I knew it was a spirit, okay, that had descended and that was following me. I get back to my car, there's a little stink bug on top of my car. So I knew, I said, okay. And plus I had seen numbers that aligned to when the witchcraft attacks are coming down on me. The 666 appears heavily throughout the day. So now I'm like, okay, I see what's happening, but I'm frustrated with my daughter because how dare you be stingy with me? I bought that. That's my shit. How dare you be stingy, you know? So even though I knew that this was an attack, I still felt the need to go back and forth with my daughter because it was just like, how dare you? So long story short, through that interaction, somehow it cracked my dashboard, okay? My windshield wiper, my windshield, okay? So now I'm going to see him at a lower vibration, and I felt obligated to go again because he's giving me money, right? This had become our uncommunicated contract, where we didn't necessarily say like, hey, you know, you're sleeping with me and I'm going to pay you. Because the way the energy was going, like, it was very confusing because he was acting like he wanted me to be his girlfriend and stuff. He was texting me all the time. He loved me. But, you know, niggas will do stuff like that too now, you know. But this was very different. This was like, like I said, he wanted me to be his girlfriend, telling me he's going to get me well, they lied to now. He's going to get me a house and just the works, all right? But there was some things that he said that I knew were very genuine, right? And very, very, very loving. Some very loving words. You know, he made it clear that it wasn't about sex. He told me that pretty much his wallet was open to me, and he pretty much told me that that I don't have to come see him just to be having sex. He just, you know, wants to obviously, you know, build with me and stuff like that. So this shit sounded all good. I'm like, hold up, damn, I done went in thinking I'm about to just have a little, I'm about to just be, you know, practically prostituting and getting paid. But here it is. Oshun done bought me a whole man. Maybe that's what I needed all this time. Maybe I needed a man, and that's where my prosperity lies, right? These are thoughts, the lies that was coming through. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, damn. You know, I mean, girl, like, he fine. Like, I mean, perfect smile. I mean, the smile is so charming. Another thing, now he was singing these love songs to me the first day that I went to go see him. I don't know if it was the first day or the first day that we actually had sex. When I walked in his room, At Last was playing by Etta James. So At Last, My Love Has Come Along. I said, oh, hell no. And that's one of my songs I play when I like to, you know, manifest a soulmate and stuff. And I said, oh, shit now. You know, I'm paying attention to everything. Then, like, he puts on all these love songs and he's singing them to me. I'm like, oh, shit, this nigga is serenading me the fuck down, okay? And I'm just like, oh, wait a damn minute. Now, I came in for one thing and now this. So it's like I'm confused now. Now I'm confused. I don't know. Is this love? Is this love? Like, he texts me every day. Like, he was very consistent with calling me. He called me in the morning before he goes to work. You know, not call, but text me, because obviously he doesn't speak English or whatever. So we was using like the Translate app and stuff. So text me. He tell me he loved me. He's always sending me hearts. What am I doing? You know, just consistent communication for the month that I knew him. He did not break communication at all. Very consistent, which I liked. I like consistency. Okay. I love affection. It was wonderful. I love the kind words that he said to me. They meant a lot to me. So here I was, after the second time of seeing him, I did not, you know, go down on him again. I did not suck his penis. I knew better not to do that. But now the second time, the cologne is on me again. And I start feeling like, I said, this is a spirit. This cologne is sucking me. You know, now, you know, too, your head start going like, hold up. Now, you know, he from Haiti now. You know, they got that voodoo over there now, bitch. You know, he probably, you know, he got something on you that he done put that cologne on you, and it's a spirit, and they trying to pull you in. So I began to start questioning him and asking him shit, because I need to know what the hell's going on. Why every time I leave you, I don't feel good, but yet when I'm in your presence, like, I literally feel very loved, very protected. It feels real. Okay. So I'm still in the background trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Do I go see him again or what? Because I can't lose energy like this. I ain't no damn I can't be dealing with no vampires. I need my energy every day to go work and go do the things I need to do. Though he's giving me money, it's still not enough for me to take care of my lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I'm in the back trying to figure out what the hell is this. Meanwhile, he's still texting every day, and I'm just going with the program. I love you too, and whatever. When you coming home? When you coming to stay with me and stuff like that? And it was just going, and I just play the game or whatever. But then it got to a point. Like I said, the spiritual warfare, every time I wanted to go see him, because I was in it. Even though I was like feeling the sickness and stuff, I was like, I'm going to still go see him, because it's the demonic kingdom. They don't want me to be happy. So I'm going to still go and see him. I'm going to fight through it. I'm going to do it on purpose. But like, the attacks were just so strong every time I wanted to go see him. And now I'm like, well, damn, is this the demonic kingdom, or is this my Ori? Is this spirit trying to communicate with me and tell me that something's wrong? Have they uncovered something about him? Did he say something about me when I left that they didn't like, that now they're telling me something different? Because originally, when I manifested him, y'all didn't give me no 911s on him. Y'all let it go. Y'all didn't tell me that nothing was wrong. The energy of something being wrong it was an onset, something that came on later, So this was the confusion I was in for a little bit. So I know I'm about to say long story short, but I know I've been on there 26 minutes. But long story short, okay, I was ignoring my body. Though I had, like I said, this spiritual warfare going on, I still was ignoring my body. Now, I went to go see him one more time because I had to inquire. I needed to know more. So I asked Spirit to, let me know what's what, so I don't get myself into no bull crap. I need to know what the hell's going on, So I went over to his home the last time that I seen him, and I went to see him, and I got there probably before he thought I would get there. So I get there, and he's eating ramen noodles. Now I don't care that a person eats ramen noodles. Like, I love ramen. I eat ramen all the damn time. But not all the time, but when money ain't where it need to be or whatever, and I need to make some things happen, I'm gonna go and get me some what is it called, Moroccan, okay, and I'm gonna eat. But this nigga had like this big ass bowl, of ramen. It was huge, okay, and he had that thing in the microwave, and I just looked at him. He started to look different to me. Now he showed me too. He had done bought 2 cases of beer, and they were in the freezer, and he had showed them to me, asked me if I wanted some, and I said no. I was like, no, agua for me, I drink just water. So it began to hit me, okay? Who is this? It began to hit me. I said, okay. And okay, so he had 2 cases of beer, okay? He had 2 cases, 2 different brands. He had Guinness and Heineken. My daughter's father drank Guinness and Heineken. My daughter's father and I were uncompatible. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, we were uncompatible. So I'm noticing this, right? And I'm like, okay. But like, everything about him, the things he said to me, I believe him, and I know he's for real. I know he's a loyal person. I even asked him that, you got any other women? Because I want to know. Because one other thing that he showed me, like maybe the first or second time I went to go see him, some girl must have been calling his phone or whatever, and he said, oh, she's local, right? Some Spanish girl. So I took note of that, right? But I really didn't care, because like I said, on my first initial thing, I was just coming for some money anyway. I didn't care, and even if he did, he was so good to me. I mean, I'm at the age and point in time where I don't have to be nobody's only girl. I just do it for the sake of companionship, and for my mental health. So I didn't really care. So, but these are things that I pick up on in the environment. So I'm like, So I asked him about another woman. He told me no. He looked me right in my face. He said, no, I believe in one man, one woman. I believed him. I believe him. I know he's telling the truth, and I believe everything he's told me. The thing is, though, our bodies are more intelligent. We were just simply not a vibrational match. Okay, do y'all know when I tell you it was so hard? I had to let him know I couldn't date him no more. I mean, it was so hard, y'all, because he really is sweet. And I mean, I know he's a good guy, but it's just that I've evolved from certain things. What is me and him gonna do all the time? Like, what the hell are we gonna do? I mean, first off, we had the barrier with language, right? But I was willing to go past it, because I said, well, maybe love is our language, because I'm a lover. So I'll deal on the love language, right? So I was like, okay, I can get past the little language barrier. I'll learn some French. He can learn some English, and we'll do, the app for now that translates for us. Okay. But when I seen that alcohol and eating that ramen, that reminded me of my daughter's father. That told me there was a familiar spirit that was operating. Okay. So another thing was, he had one day showed me some porn. He randomly showed me some porn on his phone, because like he was trying to do like some kind of crazy moves on me, and I was like, nah, nigga, I ain't doing all that. I'm too old for that. Okay. And he was like, he showed me his phone, and he easily just pulled up some porn. So I knew he was somebody who was dealing with an incubus succubus spirit. He watched that porn. That porn is dangerous for them men. You know what I mean? So I'm picking up on all of this, and I'm like, yeah, I done did this already. I done been in a relationship like this. This is the old me. So it literally was making me sick, because it's something that I've grown from, and that it was just simply a space I shouldn't have been in. But it was so hard and so deceiving, because he was fine and he was very loving. It was very, very hard to say goodbye. I went through it for a couple of days. I had to take a couple of days off work to make my mind up, to make sure I wasn't making the wrong decisions, because spiritually I get hurt from dealing with, if I'm in close proximity to things that are not of me, that I'm not a vibrational match. So I'm very sensitive. So I had to make an executive decision, and I did it, right? But again, this message is to remind you that your body is highly intelligent. It will talk to you. Are you listening? Okay. Same thing with for me, when eating foods that are not in agreement with me, I'll eat them, and I'll get sluggish. That'll tell me, okay, this food ain't good for me. Even though it might come from a restaurant that's advertised as being healthy. You know what I mean? Restaurants that got salads and stuff like that. But maybe they chicken, or maybe their vegetables are not real vegetables. Because, you know what I mean? So maybe you have a lot of insecticides or herbicides on it. I'll eat it, and I'll instantly know, nah, I don't need to eat from here, because I don't feel right afterwards. I don't care what they say these ingredients is, but these ingredients ain't compatible with me, even though they're advertising them as healthy, or organic. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Same thing with this situation was, my body was telling me that we were not a match, that something was wrong. And it took me a little while to tap into that intelligence, because I needed to investigate, because like I said, this was like, oh shit, is this my final love finally coming into my life? Is this really happening right now? Shit, he was everything that I would have ever wanted. You know what I mean? But there were those things that's lingering in the background, those familiar spirits that are attached to him, because he partakes in things that would be considered to me low vibrational. He might be wonderful for another woman, but just not me, because I'm more evolved. So hope I conveyed this message well. I hope you enjoyed the story. Learn from me. If don't go back to your old self. Not for no money, for nothing. Never go back to your old self. Never look back. The Bible talks about somebody turning back in the Bible, and they turn to a pillar of salt for looking back. Don't go back to your old self. Embrace the new you. Embrace the new you. Okay. And also know that the demonic kingdom, when you're getting closer to doors that have to be open, man, they got high level deception. I'm trying to tell you, this one here, man, this was high level deception for me, that I had to, go like this and shake out and get out of it. They would have got me. They would have gotten me, because look, them sexually transmitted demons, they want to get to me. They want to get to you, so they would have used him, even though he's an innocent person, but because he's not conscious of his essence and his being, he's defiling his temple. By me laying with him, I defile my temple. Now I allow them into my body. And guess what? They could have got me. Now I could come down with all type of ovarian cancer, breast cancer, fucking around. Because this is what these spirits seek to do. They seek to get in you, to defile you, and to cause disease in the body. Okay? So during those moments when I was laying with him, I was becoming diseased. And now, I had to take time off to, to rebalance myself. But spirit made it clear. They was telling me, like, bitch, this interaction is fatal. You better not go over there and see him. Like, so much stuff was happening, y'all, between the kingdom of darkness and my spirit trying to communicate to me. It was madness. But I remember one of the messages that came through was like, this shit is fatal. You got to stay away from this nigga. And it was just simply, again, by us exposing ourselves and laying down or even being around people who are simply not on the vibration or frequency that we are on, that are not evolved humans, you put yourself at risk. So that goes for your family members, people that you know and everything. Like, you have to keep a healthy distance from these people because they can be easily manipulated and used to target you, to harm you, to kill you, to destroy you, right? This is where we at with it, okay? And they brought their best weapon out, because I'm telling you, this nigga was fine. It was hard. It was hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? It was hard. And another thing, ladies, what spirit revealed to me a couple years back was that they would bring men to me. They would bring men to me, and that's where the spiritual warfare would come through. My interaction with men. So make sure, I'm not saying to stay away from men, because we need our man, the right man, our divine counterpart. We need him, right? And for the men out there who are watching this video, you need your divine feminine. I get that, but you gotta listen to your body. Gotta listen to your body and don't be deceived. Okay? And with that being said, until next time, peace.